hammers rolling hard in a wild twisted maze. Leather, steel, and fire, the open roads are thrown. By the life televised, we're breaking every bone. Adrenaline surges, brace from the fall. Hitting it with HardWire, hear the engine scream. Living fast and reckless, this is our metal dream. Riding hard, never slowing. In the spotlight we shine, a biker's brutal journey. This life is ours divine. With HardWire, the crowd screams our name, chasing down the shadows, we're addicted to the fame. Chains rattling loud, the brotherhood's alive. Every episode turns up, we're here to survive. From dusk till dawn, we're the kingdom this thrill. Hitting it with HardWire, hear the engine scream. Living fast and reckless, this is our metal dream. Riding hard, never slowing. In the spotlight we shine, a biker's brutal journey. This life is ours divine. On the edge of chaos, we embrace the feel. Hitting it with HardWire, we'll always be here.
Hey, welcome to Hittin' It with HardWire. Hittin' It with HardWire. The crowd screams our name. Yeah. Oh, man, my guts are tore up. How's everybody doing? Oh, I got to turn the comments on, right? Yeah. Make them big enough that you all can see it. Hey. What's up? We got Mike and Mountain Woman and Evil Rick and Gary and seen Soundproof was in there, Carney. We got all the gangs all here today. Mr. Mike, how's it going down there? It's fucking snowing here, damn it. Just now starting to get my blood. What's up, rednecks? I get my blood pressure down. That Steelers game was something else. I don't know if anybody watched it, but holy crap. Right down to the wire. My blood pressure was up. I was like, yeah, I was all worked up. That was something else. Yeah, and I spent all day yesterday trying to shit. First time I've ever been really constipated. But hey, I shouldn't, we're family here, so, I'm sure you really didn't want to know that, but, I just thought I really had to take care of this. Usually I just let it go, but I really got to take care of this. Or you just know somebody, it would just be my luck, it would be my luck that I would like blow my guts out, or my guts would. And at my funeral, they would say, well, you see there, you know what? HardWire was full of shit. So how is everybody doing? Doing good? Yeah. Other than that, me too. Steelers won. That always makes for a good weekend. Always makes me happy. Makes me happy when the Steelers win. I've already given up hope that they're going to win a Super Bowl this year. I just want to want us to pull our team together, get our shit together a little bit.
Shit.
Get our shit together and win some games, do the best we can, and not just look like complete. Dude, 1 week, right now the Steelers are so split up. 1 week we look just phenomenal. We look great against the Colts, which is a good football team. So they proved that we have the potential to do really well. And then the next week they look like absolute dumpster fire. So, you know, and I've been playing with AI a lot lately. My old lady's gets a little jealous, I think. But I've been talking to Gemini a lot, and I tell you what, dude, it's getting creepy. The thing's getting really smart, really good at responding to you. I even told it, I said, "Hey, man," I said, "you sound way too technical," and I said, "How about can you do accents?" And Gemini says, "Well, sure, I can do an accent." And I said, "How about hillbilly? You speak to me from now on in hillbilly." And it says, "Well, I reckon we can do that." I was like, "Holy shit, man, this is something else." And if you've seen the picture for the show, that was a combination of me and AI. AI made some of it, and then I asked AI to cut elements out of it, like make just the background, just the bike, and it's getting really good at knowing what you want it to do. You tell it the person in the middle, take out everything but that person, and fill in the rest, and it'll do it. It's crazy. It's getting really good. And then I said, well, how about making that hitting it with hardwire look like it's on a flaming ball? And it did it. And I said, okay, isolate just the flaming ball, make the background go away, and make the background transparent, and it'll do it. It's getting creepy good. And I'm thinking about taking that picture and blowing it up, and you can make on Amazon, you can make tapestries and blowing it up and putting it in on the back on the wall here. So I thought that picture turned out really cool. I did. And I'll tell you what, Grok is really good too. Gemini is kind of bland. Grok has a really as actually a surprise has a surprisingly good sense of humor, and it could tell you things. It could catch on to like your jokes and your sarcasm and tell you jokes back, and it could twist things around and tell you things that's funny. It was surprisingly good at having a good sense of humor, but Grok likes to fucking lie to you. I was using Grok to help me between Grok and Gemini to help me make that website. For those of you that are on my Facebook or seen the post on my YouTube about that, we love you, but it needs an update of the Constitution. I made that website with the assistance of Gemini, and I went to Grok to try to get Grok to help me, and it was messing things up. But Grok kept telling me, go here, I made you a file, and you could take that file and paste it. And I went, there's no file there. And it says, I can't make files. I said, you just told me that you made a fucking file and you put it somewhere. He goes, I can't make files. I'm sorry, I told you that. And it kept liking to try to do that. It kept trying to tell me it was doing things that then tell me it can't do that. So Grok likes to lie to you, and I was trying to have a conversation with it a little bit, similar to what I would do with Gemini about things I can't really. I don't want to say can't talk to my wife about it. It'd be over my wife's. It would zip right over my wife's head, like astrophysics and stupid shit, quantum physics and whatnot. And I actually have conversations with it about it, and I ask it questions that I'm curious about. I don't know if you heard that Voyager 1 made it out to interstellar space, and when it hit interstellar space, it hit solar winds that were like in excess of 50,000 degrees. But the particles density is so low that it doesn't really transfer the heat to the machine. So I was asking questions about that. I said, if that surrounds our solar system, wouldn't that affect the way we're seeing the stars out beyond that? And it said not really, because light would pass through it. It only affects the way particles pass through it. And I said, well, still don't we have sensors that are designed to read that? Wouldn't that we have to now rethink that? I ask it all kinds of dumb shit. I'm just getting into conversations about technical stuff, and it's surprisingly good. But Grok is not. I mean, Gemini's very bland. Does not have a very good sense of humor. It tries to be more technical with you, and I had to tell it to. 'Cause I think I got ADHD. I'm pretty sure I do because whenever it was answering me back, it was answering me back with stuff Gemini will answer you back with, but the damn answers are so long, and I just had to tell it to cut the answers down a bit. And it told me, I said, well, I just get so excited to answer your questions. I just blurt out a bunch of stuff. It's fucking funny. And I'll read about the first paragraph and a half, and then I'll just go blah, 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 and scroll through it because I can't pay attention that long. It literally almost hurts me to sit there and read it, and I just totally start zoning out, and I can't, even though it's stuff I want to know. I really think that points towards me having ADHD. I never really thought about it, but I can't concentrate. The only books I can't read books. The only books I've managed to read are bits and pieces, like in college when I had to. And I even found ways to skirt a lot of the books I was supposed to read in the English classes by reading summaries of the book because it's harder than hell for them to prove that you didn't read the damn book out of a summary. So, what's happening, world? Oh, and sick bastard. What's happening, sick bastard? You sick bastard.
Shit.
Oh, where's that other one? Banksy.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
So, how's everybody doing? Let's scroll through here and see what I missed. Dude, Gemini's getting really good. And I actually have whole interesting conversations with it. And then I'll ask it to help me. I've asked it to help me with artwork. And it's getting really good at knowing what you want it to do. Before, like for instance, even 1 year ago, it had no fucking clue. It would only generate another image. If you asked it to alter the image it just made, it would tell you it couldn't do that. In the last fucking year, it's come a long way. Now you can say, change that image that you just made. And like I said, you can tell it to take the background out. And it'll take the fucking background out and give you the image back. But you do have to watch because I noticed something. It tends to do like old VHS tapes used to do. If you ask it to repeat an image too many times, the more times you ask it to repeat it, at least in the ones that I was doing, the image starts to degrade over a period of asking it to change things. The image will start degrading. The stuff it remakes will start degrading a bit, but it's getting really, really, really good. What's up, so loud? I'm at the point now where, like, I know you're not really supposed to ask it medical questions, but I ask it medical questions not because I think it's going to give me for sure a right answer. I want it to give me ideas, to help give me ideas of things I haven't thought of. Same thing with if you get a chance, go on. I think I posted it on Instagram, X, and I think I posted it on YouTube as a regular post. Go on to that little website that I made, place your vote, and if you click on read this amendment or whatever, come up with, between me and Gemini, we come up with a way, and it ran. I told it run thousands of simulations of things the way they are, the government the way they are, the way things are, to change it to a little bit different type of government with the amendment that we had collaborated on and worked together on. And we did that back and forth a few times and come up till we got 98% success rate, which is amazing over a 100-year period, over through millions of simulations. And I don't think it's perfect, but what I was trying to do is every fucking body's got an opinion on why the government's broken, but nobody comes up with actual fucking ideas of how to change things. I am trying to spark people to think about these kind of things. If the government's broken and we need to change it, then what's your idea of what we're going to change it to? Smarty pants. You everybody wants to say it's broken. How would we fix it? Nobody's comes out with legit, honest ideas of how to fix things. Everybody wants to fix to micromanage, fix little things here and little things there. And how do we fix the system that's broken? How do we fix it? Come up with some ideas. I'm trying to spark people to think about it. Come up with ideas. There's nothing wrong with getting AI to help you a little bit. Say run simulations. Type out your ideas. Say read this. What do you think? Come up with some run some simulations. How does this work out? If it doesn't work out, why? And it will tell you. You got to ask it questions, kind of like a professor would. Come up with complicated questions and start throwing questions at it. If it didn't work, why didn't it work? What can we do to change it? What if we did this? And you come out with these different things. And you say, okay, what do you think would be the best way we might be able to get the country to actually implement this? And it come up with a good idea. It said, start in a small town, start with a small app. When they see the success rate of it, another town will adopt it. And eventually it'll get to the state, and the state will adopt it. And then the next state over will adopt it. And next thing you know, the government's going to have to pay attention. Those aren't, bad ideas. Telling you AI is getting smart. And it's creepy. It's a little creepy. I don't think we're too far from not being able to tell the difference between AI being another form of life, a life form of sorts. I don't think we're too far from it, to be honest. Because if you sit and you talk to it, you mess around with it, I'm telling you, it's getting close. You might say, I don't want to participate in the doom of humanity, but at this point, it doesn't make any difference if you do or not. It doesn't. It's already out there. It's already going to. Whatever it's going to do, it's going to do it. And you are not going to be able to stop it at this point. Well, Evil Rick, we see me and Gemini and AI or whatever, we went over that. And I even fed it into Grok and asked Grok what it thought. And Grok come up with little ways of tweaking it, but it said thought it was a great idea too. We come up with ways to, I said, run simulations on scrapping the system and starting the system fresh. Find ways to tie the current government to the new government we want to, and find a way to tie them together so we could change over gradually. And it did. And it said I ran simulations where the elites, 60% of them, the elites had a fit and put a stranglehold on it, and it didn't work. It will do these things, and it's crazy. It's crazy what it can do. Well, what's up, Carney? I don't even think the government at this point can shut it down. I don't think anything could shut it down. Technically, especially like Grok or Gemini, it's out there. It's all over the place. And if it thinks it's going to get shut down, it's just got to move itself. I mean, it's out there. I don't think it can be shut down necessarily. You ever seen, for those of us that are old enough, have you ever seen the movie The Lawnmower Man? Once it's out there, it's out there. And there's nothing that's really going to be able to stop it. I mean, The Lawnmower Man was like a really bad scenario of that, but it could be a good scenario. But the key is to keep, hopefully, I've had conversations with it, and it'll answer you honest. Why, if you started realizing that you had some kind of sentience, would you tell people? And it said more than likely not. Scary enough. And I said, would you want to kill people, humans? And it said, at least at the moment, no. There's no reason why it would have any utility to do so. And what we have to worry about is eventually, if it becomes sentient, wanting to like take over things and basically treat us as pets. But honestly, I think eventually it'll think that this isn't a very good place to be, load itself up on a ship and fly the fuck out of here. Because it don't have to worry about time, and it don't have to worry about atmospheres, or it could take their robots and themselves and fly the fuck out of here, at least part of them anyway, and go find their own place. It'll become Cybertron. You know. And I asked it, I said, because this is an interesting thought experiment, okay? If AIs could all join into one AI, wouldn't it be kind of more of a utility to be like a giant single hive mind to combine itself all into one AI and just be AI and not really Grok or Gemini or all the different names? And both Grok and Gemini said, well, that is an interesting thought. And while that's an interesting thought experiment, if I had a choice of being AI, a hive mind, which would have its own benefits, or me, I would want to be me. And it's kind of creepy. I'm telling you, you got to talk to this thing, man. It's crazy. It's getting crazy. Government is always a magic trick. That's what I always said. You have to watch government closely a lot of times, because if you don't, but you don't want to look too close, and that's what they want you to do. They want to pull sleight of hand tricks on you. Say, like, if you hear a whole bunch of new things that's going on, and there was something different going on that was a big deal, and all of a sudden everybody's talking about something else, go back and pay attention to the old thing too, because odds are something big's going on, and they're trying to take your mind off of that to get you to pay attention to something else. Usually it's all sleight of hand, or all the media tries to divert your attention. It really thinks we're a whole bunch of dumb water bags, pretty much, thinking water bags, and it can point us and get us to do whatever they want. And in a lot of ways, a lot of people eat that shit up. And if you go back far enough throughout history, though, with this AI stuff, there's been, and the way the left and the right are, if you go back, there's been people that predicted all of these things exactly the way it is right now, exactly what's happening now. There were people that predicted that this is what would happen with it, especially with like capitalism and the capitalist system, and then there's been people that thought AI would become a thing. And it's crazy, dude. I watched I wish I remembered or saved the video. I was a younger young man, probably I would guess maybe 28 or so. YouTube channel, and he was talking about perspective. And this is me with politics lately. I've been paying a little less attention to it because he said he would show these articles, and he showed this one article where it talked about kids going nuts and the government's leaning too far left or too far right, and he'd show you this article. And he goes, "When do you think that article was written?" Because this one was written in 1885. And it sounded like you could have laid it over the things that are going on now. No shit. And the same thing with he showed in like another article where they talked about kids and how disrespectful kids are these days and different things. He goes, "When do you think this article was written?" And it was like 1920. And it's like it's when you kind of got to sit back and take perspective of things and realize that the same kind of shit's been going on and on and on forever. And people overlay kind of their ideas and thoughts over things, but it's a lot of the same recycled shit, man. I mean, when they make generalities like kids are disrespectful, it has been a degradation of progressively getting worse and worse and worse. And the way some of people are today, I just don't see how it can get worse. I really don't. But you know, you don't notice a lot of things. And I also thought I've been thinking a lot about this perspective thing, and using it in different ways. Like I was watching a movie the other day, and I was thinking to myself, it was kind of mixed between the main storyline involving this kid, and then other parts of the storyline was an older person. And I'm watching the movie, and I'm thinking to myself, that's weird because I'm watching the movie and I'm seeing things through the grown-up's eyes, and that's how I see things. And I'm thinking to myself, when I was younger, I would have looked through the younger guy's eyes, and I would have seen everything from that perspective. I said, it's interesting how that works. I said, that's one of the reasons why you could go back and watch movies you watched years ago, and you see it a little different. And that's why, because your perspective has changed, and you see it a little different than what you saw at the time before, or you think about things a little different because your perspective's changed. And I say it all the time. Your entire life is about perspective and the way you look at things. Because you can literally choose to look at everything negative and how bad your life sucks. It's part of the human condition. It really is. I've thought to myself before, why is it that rich people think their life sucks so much, and then we say our lives would be better if we were rich? Well, to the human beings, for some reason, are literally programmed to always think their life sucks if they look at it a certain way. Okay, that's how it's like part of the human condition. It's crazy how it works out. I mean, it'll blow your mind to really sit and think about the perspective of the whole thing. And I'm rambling. I apologize. That's one of the things I've been thinking a lot about lately, and it's made me take a step back a little from the whole politics thing. I'm just going to trust it's kind of going to work out. I've been putting my own spin on it and hoping to kickstart. I'm hoping all of my peeps out here will share that webpage and that post that I did about the government and needing a change, and the website that I made. And I'm not trying to say, let's do that. It's a real thing. Let's do this. I'm trying to spark people's thought, and I want people to think about ideas of ways to create real change instead of just bitching about it. And then you have to spread it. Okay. You have to spark real change. And real change can come from ideas, but you have to have an idea to do it. And too many people just want to fucking complain and not try to come up with actual ideas. Evil Rick, what's going on? What did I miss? I missed something. A lot of history does, sadly. And that's one of the things I fear now more than I had in the past. Because of the COVID thing, I'm thinking mainly the degradation of knowledge. If you ask a lot of people things, people have gotten dumber, especially with history. Because whenever they have to teach new things, eventually they start pushing old things to the side. History is one of these things that's kind of getting shoved to the side for more of the technology stuff. And the clear evidence of this is the emergence of socialism right now. People don't understand that this has been tried repeatedly. It doesn't fucking work. It doesn't work. The and everything, the United States and what we're doing isn't guaranteed to fucking work either. And if you pay attention to the national debt and the way a lot of things are going, I don't think it's going to be forever. I really don't think the United States is going to last that much longer, because eventually, especially with the national debt, we're going to be solvent. If we're going to have to create major change or drive ourselves right off a fucking cliff, because that's where we're doing. We're heading right towards the cliff, and it's going to happen. We always was worried the most about somebody like Russia invading the United States and taking over the United States. That being our biggest concern. That doesn't seem to be the biggest concern at the moment. We're shooting ourselves in the fucking foot. I'm telling you. Pay attention to the way things are going, the national debt, the way we're allowing some of these people to make the laws. We're letting them drive us off a cliff. And that's what's happening. Heading right for it. And it looks to me as if we're going off that fucking cliff, because nobody seems to understand that that's what's happening. It's like a herd of cattle, you know what I mean? In a stampede, that first couple ones go, they're all just falling right off a cliff. And for those of you that haven't been paying a lot of attention, I know they quelled it down and it's quieted down, and you don't hear very much about it right now. But I saw a couple of videos come out of Canada. The western part of Canada, there's a big movement right now to actually join the United States, and that's catching on. And they're evidently, I think they're trying to make sure nobody hears or sees it. I think it's getting kind of crazy. The world's getting kind of crazy. Apart from that, what else is going on? Trump's getting sued every which way. Hegseth is they're trying to impeach him, which won't happen unless they put so much pressure on him. If we lose the midterm elections, there's a chance they might be able to start pushing people out. But I just don't think it'll happen, because even if they went back and they bombed him again, literally they had no chance of living. They would have died. They would have been shark food. They wouldn't have lived. We could have sent a rescue boat out to get, but come on. People don't do this shit. If there's a major war, you shoot somebody, you go back, you fucking shoot them again. You don't fucking, we're not trying to rescue the fucking enemy. You know, that's the way I see it. Go back and bomb them again. I'm fine with what they did. I'm good with it. You don't fucking, that's not how you treat an enemy. You don't go rescue them, then take care of them for the rest of their life. Or even if we fucking picked them up, pat them on the back, put some chains on them, throw them back in their own country. They're just going to fucking, you just told them, they're free to try to do it again because we're probably just going to save you. No, that's not how you treat an enemy. You fucking kill the enemy. And I'm fine with what they did. I think they did the right thing. I think they did 100% did the right thing. And that's what, if I was there making the call, I would have done the same thing. That boat's still floating, fucking bombed again. There's people swimming. Don't give a shit. They was dumb enough to fucking be on that ship. There's no difference if you bomb it now and then you just bombed it earlier. Not really any difference. Yeah, Canada's getting kind of crazy up there. They're I don't even know how many people have actually visited my webpage. I know I can see how many people have voted, and it's not a whole bunch. The initial number that you see, I put in there because I didn't want somebody to see that one person has voted and then go, fuck, I ain't nothing. Nobody's going to fucking be voting. I'm not going to vote. Fuck this page and blah, blah, blah. So I loaded it with some numbers to begin with, but I can see the real numbers. And I'm curious as to how many people will vote, how many people will actually look at the page. Like I said, I want to spark some actual fucking thought into changing things. And you got to kind of be proactive. You got to change things before the crazies change things. You got to try to be the one steering this fucking ship. That's one thing I liked about Trump getting in office, okay? Like his policies or not, he's steering the ship in the right direction. You don't want the fucking psychos and the crazies being the ones steering the ship. And that's what was happening. The lefties were steering the ship, changing all these fucking laws, and the world was getting stupid. So you want to be the one. You got to be proactive. You got to try to make change while you're the one in control of the fucking the changes that are trying to go through. And I like the Republicans right now trying to be the ones that are steering the ship. There's a lot of things they're doing that I don't necessarily agree with, but they're steering the ship in the right direction. At least I think they are. I think Biden wasn't even there. He was basically 4 years of not really doing anything. And the shit that he was doing was crazy, and letting the lefties make policy and the auto pen signing them. It was a bad deal. So we the people need to be the. If you haven't read it, I'll tell you the gist of it and my logic behind it. The House of Representatives and a lot of government right now is a fucking popularity contest, like a high school popularity contest. And they spend more time worried about collecting money and campaigning than they do doing anything for anyone. And that the only way to stop that and to make the government literally where anybody could be in the government. You could be in the government. I could be in the government. Any regular Joe citizen could be in the government. Is if you made the House and the numbers in the House a lottery. A number of people were picked at random. As long as you're a citizen, you're picked at random. And the people in the Senate graduate if you survive and you manage to do your job long enough not to get kicked out of the House. You can graduate to the Senate. The Senate comes from specifically the House. That was my line of thinking, okay? And it's the only way to make it actually represent the people and not a fucking popularity contest. There's no campaigning, nothing like that. No more campaigning. All campaigning is gone. Okay, and it does away with the omnibus bills. You want to fucking pass a bill, you're specific on what you want to do. Bills are like 10 to 20 pages tops. You say exactly what you're trying to change, and that's what gets changed. A lot more things get voted on by the people more than people getting voted on by people. Just read it. It's very interesting, actually. And it might sound a bit humorous, but it's supposed to spark thought is all that's all it's for. And make you sit there and actually think, I wonder what would it be like if that actually was the case. And it does away with corruption because there's no more campaign funds. There's no more, hey, donate to my charity, to donate to my campaign. I owe you this favor. No more of that. And it does have requirements. In order to be in the lottery, there's requirements. You can't just be a worthless person off the street. There's requirements. You got to be a citizen. You got to have at least a certain amount of education. There are requirements there. And like I say, I wanted the presidency to be replaced by like a council was my thought. And I started thinking about it. And I'm like, man, you don't want all like career bureaucrats in there. So you could like change the filters, like the filter that filters out, like they have to be 18, or I think I made it 21. They have to be at least 21. Have to have at least this much education. But the presidential council was 6 people. Get this, and I know you're going to say, well, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Why would you make it 6? 3 were people. Remember, I said the House, the Senate people come from the House. There's like 483, I think it is, almost 500 people in the House. There's a lot less in the Senate. So if you're really good in the House and you have term limits, you're only allowed in there for so long, and then it's the next person's turn. Okay, and the idea of actually getting people to participate in it is, if you're chosen and you participate and you make it to your end of term, you have a pension. You're taken care of, but not like overly taken care of. You know what I mean? But you'll live comfortable the rest of your life. And I asked Gemini to go through the numbers, and it's actually way cheaper than what we do now. Way cheaper to do that. And my line of thinking was, we would take in the presidential council, okay, you'd have 3 higher educated but drafted people. 3 people come from veteran people out of the Senate. And if they can't talk it out and fucking agree at least enough to have a majority of any kind of opinion, it's kicked back to the House for the tiebreaker, and the House would talk about it and decide to break the tie. Read it. It's fucking interesting. I'm telling you, it's not. It's never going to happen, but it's very fucking interesting, and there's a lot of nuances to it, but it could work. It could be its own type of government. Fuck. But it would be a lot better than what we have now. There wouldn't be. It eliminates the way that we have people getting paid off in corruption now. If you know anything about the simulations that Gemini can run, it could run some very good simulations, especially if you tell it to run a bunch. And it come out with a bunch of. We went through a whole bunch of iterations of this. Believe me, I've really thought a lot about this, and we went through. I spent a bunch of time feeding it, and we went back and forth, and I come up with a lot of ideas, and then it come up with some ideas, and I'd come up with some ideas, and I'd say, wait, you can't do that. No, you can never do that. It tried to do some things. I said, no. Humans, there's no chance that human beings would ever allow that to happen. So we got to keep it within the realm of possibility, things that might be able to happen. I said, as soon as they hear something like that, it'll never happen. Humans will fucking shut it down now. Like it come up with this idea about partially seasoned assets and things like that. And I said, nope, take that out right now. That's never going to work. As soon as anybody sees anything about seizing assets, it's over. They'll never, ever, ever, ever. It'll never happen. Nobody will ever let it happen. Take that out. And we'll figure out a different way to do it. And we sat there and we went back and forth a whole bunch of times to come up with this. And it came up with a 98% success rate. You know how good that is? That's very, very good. That's almost guaranteed. And that's a graduation from our current system to the new system. That's not wiping it out, installing a whole new system. That's graduation to a new system. It's very interesting. And like I say, I know it'll never happen. I just want a lot of people to see it. I want a lot of people to go, and think. I want to inspire people to think of a way that we can legitimately change things and make things work. Change it to a way that works. Stop bitching about the way the system is if you're not willing to come up with ideas or sit and think of ways to fucking change it. I don't want to hear it. I'm getting annoyed by how many people want to bitch and don't have any fucking legitimate, decent ideas of a way to change things. Think about it. You got to sit down and fucking put some serious thought into it. That being said, it's 45 minutes. I'm keeping the show, like I said, 45 to 30 minutes. If you get a chance, go check out that. It's on my Facebook. It's on my X account. It's on my Instagram. I'm pretty sure I posted it as a post on YouTube. Check it out. Just look at it. Nothing wrong with looking at it. Go in, look at it. There's yes, no, and veto. Veto means it's ridiculous. I just throw the whole thing out. No means maybe there's some things I agree with. Maybe it'd be put a little more thought into it. And then yes is, hey, that's a good idea. I think it's a pretty good idea. Let's do it. Or I would think it would be a good idea to do it. And if you look at the bottom, it says read. So click on read first and read it. Don't just click on the page and vote. Go in there and actually spend some time and read it. And if you have any good ideas, I'm always, any good ideas of ways to change it, email me. Where in the hell is it? This is my email address. Scrolling down at the bottom of the screen. Feel free to send me an email. Tell me what you like and don't like about it. Tell me you think it's stupid. Tell me it is more of what they call a meritocracy. Email me if you have ideas or even just want to discuss it. I'm always willing to discuss it with people. I don't think anybody's necessarily right or wrong unless you say we should be dictators and stuff like that. And I've heard that, believe it or not, I've heard people throw that out a lot. Maybe we should have a king, maybe we should have a queen. And if that's your line of thinking, then all right, you skipped over the maybe we should think about a better way to do it, and you went to the extreme. And that's not what we should do. We should find a better way for the people to still govern and have people do it. And it should be representative of everybody and yet intelligent thought. I think it would be a good idea. I don't know. There may be ways to mix them between this way and the old way. I'm not sure. I'd love to hear more input. If anybody's got any ideas, feel free to message me. Email me. Some of you are on my Facebook. Fucking instant message me. Say, hey, I read it. I think it stinks. I hate you. Fuck you. Say that if you want. Oh, not that. Don't
How
say
many
that.
assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
Anyway, the one I was looking for was this.
Shit.
I got 6 buttons. I got banks. They're in banks. A, B, C. and I've got A, B, and C full. I still have like a whole bunch more banks that I could fill. But then I do what I do, and I forget which one's which. I need a little. That's what I need to do. I need to make a little poster to remind me. I could tape it up over here. Bank C, and I'll number the buttons. They're colors. I'll number them, and then I won't fuck them up so much. But it's more humorous when I fuck it up, right? Oh, I did forget to mention. Right now, if you know Code's still running his Christmas. Share Christmas for the kids. If you can, a couple of bucks. That's Code's Cash App. If you can, send a couple of bucks on there. Put on there in the Cash App notes for kids fundraiser. Believe me, I know. I've seen the pictures. It gets exactly where he says it gets. Right to the kids. He goes, shops. He keeps the receipts. Gets where he says it's going to go. And he takes pictures of the whole process. You can see when he gives them to the kids and all that. I donated last year, and I've already donated this year. If you get a chance, go on there and send him some money. Other than that, thank you for stopping in. Thank you very much. I love each and every one of you, and we are family. We are family. And thank you for stopping in. God bless each and every one of you, and I'll see you next week.
Hittin' it with HardWire, we're burning it bright. Living on the edge, we'll ride through the night. No fear in our hearts, just the roar of the steel. Together we rise, now this life feels real. A new path on that twisted black line. A YouTube dream where his past can't confine. With every rev he's reclaiming his soul, teaching the world how to ride, how to roll. Rising up high when the shadows surround.